Ever wondered what the leader of 1.2 billion Catholics around the world has to say about climate change? Well, buckle up because Pope Francis has recently raised some pressing concerns about our planet's environment. Welcome to Hear the Web by Tom and Lily.
That's right, Tom. Pope Francis didn't hold back in his recent intervention about climate change, warning the world of a possible breaking point. Our planet, he suggests, is literally collapsing due to escalating environmental damage.
In the Pope's own words, the world is not only collapsing, but maybe nearing breaking point, a symptom of ineffective global decision-making bodies and quite scathing climate deniers.
It's interesting how the Pope isn't afraid to take a stand. He's been committed to the cause since his 2015 encyclical, which significantly shifted the Catholic Church's stance on climate change.
Great point, Lily. Not only has Pope Francis been vocal about climate change, but he has actually called for politicians to move from talk to concrete action in tackling this issue. He critiqued the irresponsible lifestyles prevalent, especially in the Western world.
His criticisms extend even towards the emission rates, as he mentioned that per-person emissions in the USA are around 2 times greater than those in China, and about 7 times more than in the poorest countries. To him, a significant transformation from such irresponsible lifestyles could have long-term impacts.
Hence, Pope Francis knows that everyone has a role to play. In his view, to consider there's nothing to hope for would be suicidal, because it would mean exposing all humanity, particularly the most poor, to the worst impact of climate change.
But what the Pope really underscores is a need for global systemic change. He calls for a new global procedure for decision-making, criticizing the existing approach as ineffective and distracting.
He also addresses political hypocrisy, pointing out that the transition from fossil fuels to clean energy seems to be happening too slowly, risking being seen as nothing more than a diversion. However, he acknowledges the progress made through COP summits while also pointing out the shortcomings.
Pope Francis raises doubts about the role of carbon capture technologies, likening them to papering over the cracks. He warns against the belief that future problems will always be solved by new technical interventions, calling it a form of homicidal pragmatism.
Absolutely, Lily. Finally, in his strong plea, he directly challenges world leaders with a compelling question. What would induce anyone at this stage to hold on to power only to be remembered for their inability to take action when it was urgent and necessary to do so?
This criticism from Pope Francis is a reminder, not just to the world's leaders, but to all of us, about our role in tackling climate change. Powerful stuff indeed.
Well said, Lily. So, folks, that's Pope Francis's dire warning about climate change, a plea to acknowledge the irreversible damage and take immediate concrete actions. Remember, our choices can influence the course of our planet's future. Thank you for tuning in to Hear the Web by Tom and Lily.